Audio 1.1. 1,
They're much better organized than they used to be.
2,
The more we rush around, the more stressed we get.
3,
I waited as long as I could.
4,
Events are moving far more quickly than we expected.
Audio 1.2.
The management of change is one of the most difficult things for organizations to do well. Many people feel threatened by change, and fear of the unknown means workers often prefer things to stay as they are. Managers, in turn, are often anxious about communicating change. This may mean that they don't communicate appropriately, or that the team picks up on their anxiety and becomes nervous in turn.
Audio 1.3.
People in different cultures do not respond in the same way to approaches to change management. Factors which affect the way people react include how much respect people have for power and those in authority, and the importance of the individual versus the group. Another key factor would be how people react towards uncertainty, not being sure what is going to happen. If managers fail to take these factors into account, they may find workers are highly resistant to change.
Audio 1.4.
German-American psychologist Kurt Lewin, one of the pioneers of organizational psychology, devised a three-step model for the effective management of change. The first step, which he calls unfreezing, concerns explaining why things should be done in another way. This step is very important, and a particular approach may be more effective in one culture than another. In Anglo-Saxon countries, it's important to show how change will benefit the individual. If people can see that doing things a different way will help their career or bring a reward, they are more likely to respond positively. In Scandinavia and the Netherlands, people like to feel a high level of autonomy in their work and believe that they, not managers, fully understand their work. In this culture, consultation and decision-making by the team is very important. In countries such as Mexico, Russia, and India, people believe that the person at the top of the company has a good overview and can make the best decisions. Communication of change should also be done formally, through written documents. In Germany and Austria, the emphasis is on being an expert. An expert is believed to be in a position to define new directions. Therefore, anyone who wants to implement change must first ensure that their knowledge and expertise is recognized. It's not enough just being a manager. The next step in Levin's model is known as
Audio 1.5.
When we think of the world's biggest cities, we might think of places like Tokyo or Mexico City. While these are certainly big, the map shows us the 6 fastest growing cities in the world, and the cities which are likely to continue growing rapidly from now till 2020. None of them are in Europe or the Americas. 5 of them are in Asia, and 1 is in Africa. The world's fastest growing city in terms of population is Beihai in the Guangxi region of China. Its location, near Vietnam, Hong Kong and Macau, has aided its economic development, and tourism is also on the increase. Its average population growth from 2006 to 2020 is estimated to be nearly 11% per year. Surat and Ghaziabad are both important industrial cities in India. Bamako, the capital of Mali, is a centre for shipping and industry, which has grown due to rural migration, as has Kabul in Afghanistan. The ancient city of Sana'a in the Middle Eastern country of Yemen has existed for more than 2,500 years, but has grown recently due to the oil industry.
Audio 1.6.
Shanghai has changed enormously in the last 30 years or so. I mean, it's really grown a lot. There are now just under 24 million people living here. That's double the population of the late 80s. So the past 30 years or so have seen some big changes. I think the area that's undergone the most dramatic change is probably Pudong. It used to be a rural area, but it's been completely transformed. They've built an incredible number of skyscrapers, and the skyline has changed beyond recognition. A lot of the big financial institutions which used to be in the Bund, that's another district, well, they've moved to Pudong. You got the Shanghai Tower, that's the tallest building in China, and Pudong is also where the airport is now. There are loads of shops, museums, and restaurants. It's a really lively part of the city. But it's not just the center of the city that's changed. The way Shanghai's growing means they're constantly putting up new tower blocks and residential areas all over town. I know some people aren't happy about being moved out of their old houses, but I think the quality of housing has improved a lot, and most people see it as something positive. I suppose in some ways I think it's becoming more westernized or maybe more globalized. You see all the same stores and chains you would in London or New York. I think it's also getting a lot more expensive because of this. There's also a much bigger middle class. I absolutely love what's happened in the waterfront area. That's all really changed. They always seem to be building a new expressway or widening an existing one. The metro's great. It's now got, something like 12 lines? And I think they're building or planning to build somewhere in the region of 7 more. That's a big improvement. One thing that hasn't changed too much, though, is the pollution. Shanghai's a lot better than Beijing, but the air quality's still not that great. But Shanghai is a much greener city than it used to be. They've established a green belt, and there are dozens of parks now, a lot more than there used to be, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of it stopping. More people are moving to Shanghai all the time.
Audio 1.7. 1,
We're living in a period of great transformation.
2,
The internet has brought great benefits, but also many problems.
3,
Change in modern life is being accompanied more and more by a sense of nostalgia.
4,
Future generations will look back on the present day as one of enormous technological advances.